I talked to eCapitol reporter Shawn Ashley for more on this big week at the Capitol. Shawn, a big part of the tax cut deal involved Capitol renovation. How will that work?
That's exactly correct. There's an interesting provision in the tax cut bill, House Bill 2032, which sets aside $60 million in the upcoming fiscal year 2014, and then an additional $60 million in the following fiscal year 2015, for capital repairs. Put simply, what this does is divert some money from the corporate income tax and the individual income tax that would normally go into the general revenue fund for appropriations for capital repairs. Also related to that is House Bill 1910, which Speaker Shannon has been a big supporter of. It's his bill. And it provides that as capital assets are sold, old buildings that are no longer being used, land that is not beneficial to the state, those revenues would go into a special fund, which would then be used for maintenance and repair of state buildings. So at a minimum, the tax bill, House Bill 2032, has $120 million for capital repairs, and then whatever revenue House Bill 1910 generates over time will be split between the capital and other fiscal needs.
So you have to read those two together.
That's exactly right.
Another bill popped up this week, an amendment actually, that would allow arming of teachers.
That's right. Earlier in the session, we saw this bill pass the House, go to the Senate, where it was not heard. It's by Representative McCullough. But on Thursday, Representative McCullough resurrected that effort by attaching it to a measure by a member of the House and Senator Paddock in the Senate. This bill dealt with requirements at the Council for Law Enforcement Education and Training related to training law enforcement officers. Representative McCullough's proposal had been for them to train teachers and other school personnel and allow districts to allow some members who receive that training to be armed. He attached that as an amendment to the bill. It was hotly debated, but ultimately passed and heads back to the Senate. Senator Paddock, however, said she did not think the Senate was likely to hear that language, just as they did before, so it may be a futile effort.
There is a bill on the governor's desk regarding smoking regulations.
That's exactly right. We've had this battle throughout much of the session, but this is sort of the compromise. What this bill would allow to happen is for cities and counties to prohibit smoking in their facilities and on their lands, places like city parks and county recreation facilities. This bill also has language that is similar to an executive order issued by Governor Mary Fallin a little over a year ago, which prohibits smoking on all state property.
Fees for driver's licenses may be going up.
That's right. In fact, in some cases, for your driver's license and mine, which is currently $21.50, that may be going up $10 to $31.50. And some commercial licenses would also see an increase of $10, going from $41.50 to $51.50.
And a bill has moved forward allowing for beer tasting.
That's exactly right. For a number of years, wineries in the state of Oklahoma have been able to offer samples to those visiting the wineries. Now brewers in the state of Oklahoma who are licensed would be able to do the same thing. There would be limits. Individuals would have to be 21 years of age or older in order to receive a sample. They could only be offered between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. And an individual could only be provided 12 ounces of beer to sample. This was signed by the governor back on Monday. I believe it takes effect in November. So soon, when you visit a local brewery, you'll be able to taste their wares.
It's getting really interesting at the Capitol. Shawn Ashley, thank you.
You're very welcome.